It's officially official. Major League Soccer is coming to San Diego.
Voters approved an independent police practices commission more than 2 years ago, but it's still not up and running.
This happens. It happens at every college campus across the entire country every weekend.
Plus, a former NFL punter and San Diego State football player accused of rape sits down with CBS 8.
And elementary school teacher Miss Leonardo never saw it coming. A surprise Walmart school supply shopping spree.
And overdue by 96 years, a library book checked out in 1927 is finally returned. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. Major League Soccer is coming to San Diego and Snapdragon Stadium. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The official announcement came today at Snapdragon Stadium, which will be home to the yet-to-be-named team in 2025. Tonight we have team coverage. Our Jake Garriani is here to talk about how significant this is for our local sports scene and the city.
But first, let's go live to CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes. She's at the stadium with reaction from really excited sports fans. Kirsten?
Yes, indeed. Now the stadium is empty behind me right now, but it was packed with people ready to celebrate the new expansion of MLS right here in San Diego. Now this might be the worst kept secret in the city because the announcement didn't really surprise a lot of San Diegans. But at today's announcement, we asked some of the key players some key questions. Take a look.
My friends, San Diego is a sports town, am I right?
And just like that, what was once not a sports town becomes...
We are Soccer City. That is what San Diego is.
With the wildly popular National Women's Soccer League representing in San Diego through the Wave FC and the San Diego Loyal FC, Carrie Coppich with the San Diego Tourism Authority says we're ready.
Between San Diego and Tijuana and the amount of viewers and players and fans, it'll be fantastic for our community.
The Loyal is unbelievable and the Wave is unbelievable, and this just adds another thing.
Jerry Sanders, former San Diego mayor and police chief, says
nobody thought that we could build Snapdragon. Nobody thought that San Diego State would take over this property. Certainly nobody thought we were going to get MLS, and it's all coming true.
San Diego Loyal sent a message saying they're committed to growing soccer in the city, saying, quote, "Our plan is simple. We aren't going anywhere." So when it comes to this new MLS expansion team, let me ask you the real question. What do you hope the name will be?
I have no idea about the name, but I'm excited to hear what it'll be.
Any thoughts on a name?
I have a few ideas, but the team and the ownership, particularly Saquon, have been very clear that they want to engage the community in this.
And because we are working for you, we got the answer straight from the owner's mouth.
The name's not yet decided. We're doing some studies and focus groups just to see what's the best name, what's the best colors, what people want here, because this is your team.
I think San Diego FC is not that bad.
Sammy Kanan is a striker on the University of San Diego's soccer team. He says the colors should be black and white so it's easier for the new team to match Snapdragon's already red and black stadium. And he says a mascot might be nice too. So another key question. Is San Diego looking at a future San Diego MLS superstar player right here?
I mean, we'll have to see. Just give it a couple of years. I don't know.
I love it. A hometown hero. If that happens, we hope those dreams come to fruition. Okay, so after I talked with the new owner of the new MLS team that's coming here, CBS 8's Jake Garriani got some real answers about the possibility of the real name of the new soccer team that's coming here. I'm not going to steal his thunder, but we are all very excited about Major League Soccer coming to San Diego. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Jake got the big scoop, and he is standing by with that. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But Kirsten, what else can you tell us about the new MLS team's owners? People want to know.
Okay, so this is history in the making. First off, we got to tell you about the Saquon tribe. They will become the first Native American tribe to have ownership in professional soccer. So we celebrate that. We're also going to talk about Mohammed Mansour. He's a British-Egyptian businessman, philanthropist, and it was his $500 million that really helped bring Major League Soccer to the area. And another name that most everybody in San Diego knows, Manny Machado of the Padres, also in the ownership team. So a lot of fans are going to be coming here to Snapdragon Stadium.
Great to see Manny digging his roots a little bit deeper. Kirsten Holmes reporting for us. Thanks, Kirsten. And again, soccer won't be played at Snapdragon Stadium, at least not by the new MLS team, until 2025.
Yes, but this is going to have a huge impact on San Diego and soccer fans. As promised, our Jake Garriani is standing by to continue our team coverage. Jake, what's the scoop that you got today?
The team name we, I think, found out, right? It was kind of a group of us, and we hammered it home.
Or at least the shape of the name, the rough shape. Yeah. We're not sure the order yet.
The rough shape, yes. We kind of have two options, which we'll talk further about in sports. You'll hear the exact, the sound bite. But it's going to either be FC San Diego or San Diego FC. So Football Club of San Diego or San Diego Football Club. So there you go. I hope you enjoy that. Hopefully you like the name. But today truly was something special. You know, we beat out Vegas and plenty of other markets to land this team, and I was down there at Snapdragon when they made the official announcement, and as Kirsten said, we all knew it was coming, right? But soccer fan or not, this just felt invigorating. It's so great to see another major league sport make its way to America's finest city. This city deserves major league sports, and a lot of them. We all know the history here, right? But San Diego has an incredible fan base and a hunger to cheer and go wild for their teams. And now we're just getting one more thing we can all rally around and support in a sport that feels like it hasn't fully hit its peak here in this city. And it's that sense of community and togetherness that I'm most excited about, and a man who really made this all possible is most excited about. We catch up once again with the man who helped it all get here, Mr. Mohammed Mansour.
How important is it for you to grow soccer in this country, and especially in this community where there's another country just south of the border that can enjoy it as well?
Well, I think soccer builds people. I mean, soccer brings people together. I mean, there's nothing that brings people together more than soccer, sports in general. And we have south of the border, you know, community, and also the community in San Diego and around the area of California. I think we will have an amazing club here. I'm very, very, very optimistic about the future of the San Diego club.
So again, 30th club in MSL. They will begin play in 2025. And we're going to hear from Manny Machado, who is a part owner. I saw him when we were down there. He walked up, and I go, "What are you doing here?" And then it all made sense. We got tons of sound coming up in sports too. More going back down to Snapdragon Stadium, so be good.
One of the best moments today for me watching was the tribal leaders, Saquon, talking about how they've sponsored and supported teams for years, but now they have a team.
There was this cool moment where we were talking with the chairman of the Saquon tribe, and he goes, we've been supporting these teams, we've been doing everything, and now to be sitting at the table, to have a part of the cake, it feels so special. And Mr. Mansour said, it feels like 1,000 birthdays rolled into one. It was really a special feeling, and you can tell the sense of pride that they have in this city. And of course, again, I mentioned it, we all know the history here. It's awesome to see people rooted in this community and wanting being a part of it.
Yeah. Nice to see that it's a group. We have the big money from outside. Could have been a little daunting, but some familiar faces with deep roots here in San Diego is nice to see.
And I think that's what making Saquon being a part of it helps. You know?
Yeah, it's really neat. They're no longer just one of the names on a banner or so forth. They're the owners. So it's amazing.
Thanks, Jake.
We'll see you more in sports.
A debate is underway right now for candidates hoping to replace Nathan Fletcher. It's being held at the Copley Price Family YMCA. Veterans advocate Janessa Goldbeck and Amy Reichert, the co-founder of a group that pushed for reopening schools and businesses during the pandemic, are taking part. The third person on your screen, though, in the last hour, we learned that she, Monica Montgomery Stepp, will not be participating in the debate because of a fee for VIP seating at the event. We'll have more on that later. Topics include homelessness and foster care, and they will be taking questions from the audience, we're told. The debate is hosted by the People's Association of Justice Advocates.
The man accused of killing an 88-year-old veterinarian last year appeared in court today. 38-year-old Patrick O'Brien is facing a first-degree murder charge in the death of Dr. Clark Kelly. Investigators say Dr. Kelly walked in on O'Brien burglarizing his Boulevard Animal Clinic in Rolando. Dr. Kelly was later found with a head injury and died at the hospital. A judge heard from dozens of witnesses today, including Dr. Kelly's widow, Elsie Kelly. The judge will determine if there's enough evidence to send the case to trial.
The chairwoman of the San Diego City Council Public Safety Committee wants answers as to why the Citizens Police Review Board had to stop reviewing some cases alleging police misconduct.
All of this was happening while the council still hasn't created a new independent review board that was approved by voters in November of 2020. CBS 8's Abby Black is live outside police headquarters tonight to give us an update on the council's next steps to form a commission. Abby?
Marcella, just in the last hour, the San Diego Police Department responded to our request for comment about this situation. They say that they continue to forward cases involving allegations of officer misconduct to the current Citizen Review Board. But they say by code that they can close cases within a year regardless of outside recommendations. In November 2020, voters overwhelmingly approved Measure B, allowing the City Council to create an independent police practices commission. The goal is to revamp the current Citizens Review Board. The new commission will have more power to weigh in on alleged officer misconduct and propose disciplinary actions.
The point of the commission is not only to hold the police accountable, but also to build trust between the police department and the community.
Andrea St. Julian is the co-founder of San Diegans for Justice and the principal author of the measure. She's disappointed after 2 years there's still no commission. Council President Sean Ela Rivera defends the long process.
I think it was important that we acted with urgency, but without rushing the process.
At the same time, the current review board had to stop reviewing less severe police complaints because there's a backlog of cases and not enough commissioners. Police have had to close internal cases without outside input.
Under the circumstances, we've been doing the best we could to get the commission up and running and to review as many cases as possible. But we're not yet at the finish line.
The case backlog got the attention of the council. On Monday, they'll appoint 25 community members from a list of 63 nominees that include those with low to moderate incomes, youth, and one from each council district.
I think we will see a variety of different conversations for different nominees and different seats. Your guess as to exactly what Monday looks like wouldn't be too much different than mine. I think what cannot be forgotten here is that this is an entirely new process.
A new process that visionaries hope will create accountability and trust among police.
And despite the city council's clear efforts to slow down this process, we are all going to work together to make sure that this commission is what it needs to be.
The mayor tells us that since the police chief reports to the mayor and that this is an independent police practice commission, that he is not involved in creating this board. Marcella?
Abby, even if the council does nominate all of the commissioners on Monday, will they be able to get to work right away?
No, Marcella. The interim chair of the current review board says that these new commissioners will have to be trained, and they say that they have accelerated that training, but they don't believe that it'll take at least a year until they can start reviewing independent cases.
All right,
Marcella.
Well, at least there's finally some movement after a couple years. Thanks so much for that update, Abby.
We have a Working For You update tonight on a deteriorated and dangerous eyesore in La Jolla.
We first told you about this railing right here last month when we saw someone post about it on Instagram. People in La Jolla reached out to the city of San Diego to get this fixed. We contacted the city and were told it doesn't have the money or the manpower to fix it right now. Councilman Joe LaCava's office told us the city is considering a private partnership to fix the entire fence. While the city's transportation department reviews that request, the La Jolla Parks and Beaches Incorporated managed to coordinate with the city to get most of that damaged and dangerous section repaired. This came after a story by our Anna Laurel.
Hi Anna, so we got the fence replaced. They did a couple of days ago. Anyway, thank you again for coming and for giving us some attention. It's done.
That looks much better. Thanks so much, Anna. Here at CBS 8, we want to help solve problems affecting you, perhaps your community. If there's something you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
Still ahead tonight, is Starbucks really charging more for no ice in its cold drinks? We verified.
Plus, the debate over transgender medical care for minors and the states where it's taking center stage tonight.
The marine layer kept the 60s at the coast. We had some more heat and sunshine across inland areas that were still above seasonal when it came to our highs. Will this continue through tomorrow? Your complete forecast coming up.
And up next, a historic chapter comes to a close in a change of command on board the USS Abraham Lincoln.
Flood. AC acting up again? In need of a tune-up before summer? Call Bill Howe today and book your AC tune-up for just $79. For all your AC needs, you know who to call.
1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. Because we know how.
The story of a country line dancer who gave her pain.
Is there a 3-shot here?
This is Shelley.
Once I start dancing, I forget where I am.
So what was tripping her up?
Foot pain, knee pain, and back pain.
Then she got fitted for Good Feet arch supports.
It was magical. I knew, oh my gosh, this is what I need to stay on the dance floor.
And stay there, Shelly does.
That's my happy place. I'm not going to stop.
See for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Top new brands, huge selection, big discounts. That's La Mesa. A new Tiffin Wayfarer motorhome is discounted to just $139,998. See and save thousands on your new RV at La Mesa in San Diego.
You may think it's daunting to walk 60 miles over 3 days, but we walk because we must. Together, we will end breast cancer. The Susan G. Komen 3-Day. Join us. Walk with us.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we know everyone has their favorite spot. It's the Memorial Day sale. For a limited time, save 30% store-wide and get 36 months special financing. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Top new brands, huge selection, big discounts. That's La Mesa. A new Thor Chateau motorhome is discounted to just $99,998 or just $620 per month. See and save thousands on your new RV at La Mesa in San Diego.
There was a change of command on the USS Abraham Lincoln today, one that ended a historic chapter for the Navy. Captain Amy Bauernschmidt was relieved of her command. She was the first woman to ever command an aircraft carrier. Captain Pete Ryby took over as commanding officer in a ceremony on the flight deck this morning. Bauernschmidt was in command for 21 months, including a 7-month deployment during which the Lincoln served as the flagship for the largest Rim of the Pacific exercise ever.
More than a dozen states across the country are putting laws restricting gender-affirming care for minors on the books. Many of those have come into play this week. And more could be coming. CBS 8's Jesse Pagan is here to break down the new laws and tells us which states are looking to protect LGBTQ rights. Jesse.
Yeah, guys, several of those states, again, all kind of going down party lines, some conservative, some more liberal, red and blue states. However, Texas is one of those, Montana as well. But there are some states that are enacting some laws to go against that grain. Loud protests inside the Texas State House did little to persuade lawmakers, with many there still voting to ban transgender medical care for minors.
That was an incredibly hard moment for our community.
The bill would make Texas the biggest state so far to ban gender-affirming care if it becomes law. Right now, 17 other states have enacted laws or have plans to do so this week. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill banning hormone treatments and surgery for transgender people under 18 yesterday.
This will permanently outlaw the mutilation of minors. It will outlaw the surgical procedures and experimental puberty blockers for minors.
And in Montana, lawmakers signed a version of their own in April under the national spotlight after they barred trans state representative Zoe Zephyr from the House floor. Zephyr, speaking on the bill, said Republicans would have blood on their hands if they passed it.
I was speaking to the real consequences of the votes that we as legislators take in this body.
But some bluer states are making moves of their own, passing laws hoping to protect LGBTQ communities. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed a new law banning discrimination against people who've had abortions Wednesday. And Democrats there want to ban conversion therapy, which tries to change a person's sexuality. But even in blue states, there is friction. The Los Angeles Dodgers just canceled a drag performance scheduled for their annual Pride Night after backlash from conservative and Catholic groups. Also in Texas, the House there voted to restrict transgender athletes from competing in college sports based on their gender identity.
Thanks, Jesse. As bills targeting drag performances come up in some other states, here in California, San Francisco is fighting back.
The city has named the nation's first drag laureate. San Francisco's mayor says it's a way to embrace drag culture and put government resources toward it. Drag artist Darcy Drollinger will receive a $55,000 stipend for the 18-month role. West Hollywood will appoint its own drag laureate later this month, but at a much lower $15,000 per year.
Carlene, we used to celebrate Bike to Work Day, but they've changed it. It's called Bike Anywhere Day. That was today, and it was pretty nice weather for cyclists who got out on the roads.
It was, but you know, Brian, I don't blame him.
Took a little detour. I mean, he lives far. He lives far.
And I don't blame him.
Hybrid.
I don't blame him. I do appreciate that because, yeah, it could be a little treacherous, especially if he's trying to cross the 52. But let me just tell you, we had in the forecast plenty of sunshine out there. So anyone who was cruising into work today, it was beautiful weather for it. We have lots of that sunshine still going strong, more than we saw around this time yesterday, but still along the immediate coast, some pretty stubborn clouds by the afternoon hours. Taking a look at our current temperatures, you got the 60s right along the coast. You also have the 70s right now. We're seeing that for Poway, the same for Escondido. 73 degrees right now for Alpine, and you also have 72 for Julian. Wind speeds are fairly light, so out of the west at about 11 miles per hour, that's for Julian. Out of the southwest, and that's for downtown at 7 miles per hour. We also have the gusts picking up to about 11 miles per hour. That's for Escondido, and the same for Chula Vista. The highest wind gust 22 miles per hour, and that's for Boulevard. Earlier today, we had those cumulus clouds that were building up over the mountains. They're starting to flatten out just a little bit more. We're losing the heating of the day as we're gearing up for our sunset, which is going to be around 7:45 tonight. But because we had that moisture that's still lingering, we had those cumulus clouds building up, and even a few isolated showers and some thunderstorms, our radar indicating over the last 6 hours. Also talking about that marine layer that's been along the coast. That's going to continue to be an issue sticking around as we go into the forecast. So that's going to keep temperatures below seasonal at the coast. But then inland, you're still talking about an uptick in humidity. You're also still talking about warmer than usual temperatures by about 5 to 10 degrees all the way into tomorrow. This is the same forecast we've been talking about over the last few days. No major changes are expected. This will be the case all the way until Saturday. So that upper low is lingering just towards the south of us, and that's why we're seeing some of those alto cumulus clouds, seeing those cumulus clouds also building up, and also seeing some of that shower activity across the mountains. So as we hit the forecast for the next couple of afternoons and evenings, still talking about a chance. So that will linger all the way through about Saturday, and then by Sunday, things start to calm down a little bit more. We're going to dry out into next week. When you take a look at your overnight lows, mainly in the 50s, that marine layer rolls in, completely covers the coastal basin, so basically all areas west of the mountains, and so that's why we're looking at most of our overnight lows pretty consistent in those 50s. You're looking at the return to 70s for daytime highs for the coast by Sunday, low 80s across inland areas, and then also 70s going strong across the mountains with 90s going strong in the desert. More details on the dry out by next week. Next half hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at your weather quiz question for tonight. Known as a hot and dry dust layer in the atmosphere, what does SAL stand for? Is it A, Sonoran air layer, B, sandy atmospheric layer, C, Saharan air layer, or D, super arid layer?
Okay, give a little emphasis there. If I'm reading, but I'm gonna admit that I'm just drawing a blank here.
Yeah. Honestly, don't listen to Carlo at home tonight.
Okay. There you go. I got nothing.
Typically, I would say yes, but I know this is a little tricky. So just go to our website, cbs8.com/weatherquiz to make your guess. And this month, we are giving away a family 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego. 6 families have a chance to win this prize. It's perfect prize for family fun this summer. It's also sponsored by Corky's Pest Control. You get your new weather quiz question every Monday through Friday, some tricky, some not. And you're seeing that every Monday through Friday during our 7 a.m. as well as this newscast. Good luck.
May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We're celebrating by highlighting some of San Diego's many AAPI-owned businesses.
Tonight we're featuring Alpine Ranch CrossFit. This gym offers classes for adults and kids. The owner says everyone is welcome, no matter your fitness level.
We have an awesome community here. They cheer each other on. We cheer them on. We have amazing coaches, and we love everyone here.
Whoa, that's impressive.
They are throwing around some iron.
Look at that. That's amazing. You can find Alpine Ranch CrossFit inside the Viejas Outlet Center. Coming up, better late than never.
A book is returned to a California library 96 years past its due date.
What's a fine for that?